Tara here from Carbo Coaching to provide some training on the project design tool. We always say we start with a vision, and from a clear vision, we can communicate clearly. We can create buy-in with our teammates and other stakeholders. We can share our vision well when we are clear about what we're sharing. And this is a one-page, could even call it a strategic plan around a particular project area. So this could be something that can take as little as 6 months. It could, take a full year. It could be around your entire company. It could be a particular department. It could be about sales. It could be about retention. It could be a personal project around fitness and health. It could be your plan for personal vacation and adventure for the year. You can really use this tool to lay out what we call a project for nearly anything. What you would not use this tool for is something that maybe only takes a month, a couple of months, or something you can knock out in a weekend. This is really built to divide up into ideally quarters so that you can have milestones to build towards. So this is a bit more of a complex plan versus a things to do or a task that has multiple steps. So we're going to start way up here at the top, right? What is this project all about? So let's say this project is around company retention. All right. And owner, the owner is the person who's ultimately holding themselves responsible for the outcome, successful outcome of the project. They're not going to be the one that does everything, right? Similar to the CEO or a department head doesn't do all of the work, but they are responsible that the team accomplishes everything inside the roles and responsibilities. So I'll be the owner for this. So I'm going to be the owner. Let's say I'm the CEO. I am going to be the one to make sure that everything happens. Next, we come over to our intended outcomes. You'll also see that this is a fillable PDF, so you can type right in here. It should, if you have a lot to say in a small space, it should shrink the text for you. Also, feel free to just print it out and write on it. If you're brainstorming around a table and don't want to have technology in the space, that's another way to use this tool. So the objective is all about the experience, right, that we want to have. This is a little less measurable. It's more of an infinite idea. So here we're daydreaming a little bit. We get to use our right brain. And it might start with something like to experience, right? So we might say, wow, for me and my company, for this retention project, I really want my team to experience this as their home. So let's say to create a fulfilling family-like environment for my team. Let's say I want them to love working here. And then we'll hire somebody else to type for me, right? I want them to love working here. Cool. Okay, so that's nice, right? So we're going to create a fulfilling family-like environment for my team. I want them to love working here. So that's our objective of this whole project, right? Let's say it's going to take 12 months. Now, that is great, but if we left it there, it would be far too relative, right? Like, we can't measure that. we can measure that. But so far with this, like, we don't know what fulfilling means. What does family like environment mean to me? I'm sure it means, the word family means something different to everybody based on how they were brought up in this world. So, love working here. What's that mean? All of these things are relative. But what we can do is decide on a few things to measure, right? Because this is where we're really going to be able to use data to show us whether we succeeded or not. So let's say we, I don't know, maybe we have 100 people working here and we want to have a 97% retention rate. So let's do that. Retention rate by October 1st, 2025. Okay, now that is super clear, and we call that a what by when. So I'm going to put that in here. A what by when. If you ever work with Carbo Coaching, we're going to constantly be asking you, what by when? What by when? By when, by when, by when? It's a great accountability tool, really great clarity tool. Just one little question. Okay, now you can have more than one measure. Lots of training will say you can have up to 5 measures. One makes things super clear, but you could also say, something else that's important to me is to have, 30 families at the summer picnic. Maybe that is, let's see, by July 31st, 25. Okay. And then we also want to measure that family-like environment, love working here by participation in the summer picnic. Okay. Now we'll move on to our vision, right? So how will this look on X date, right? So on 10/1/2025, how will this look, right? Having 97% retention rate. This must mean something. This must mean, we've been doing our one-to-one meetings and they're going fantastic. And I'm getting so much better at talking about health, being in uncomfortable conversations where I have to share information around people's performance gaps, and they're welcoming my feedback now because I've learned how to say it better and they've learned how to hear it better. It might look like, we've brought in a few outside training programs and gotten folks some specialty training that they needed. It could look like, wow, we have this birthday party club where somebody brings in a really nice cake and we do like a potluck thing and a chili contest, and whatever it is that is inside of your vision for how it would look 1 year from today to have a fulfilling family-like environment for your team, a place that everyone loves working, that results in a 97% retention rate, and 30 families at the company picnic. Right? So this is where we really get to use our imaginations again, do a little daydreaming, and look at some of the finer details of what this means to us, right? Now we're going to go down here to skills and resources. There's not a lot of room in this box, so you can always use the back or another sheet of paper. Again, it will shrink your text for you. But the value of this is really creating a list of all the things you already have, which would be, your skills and resources, all the things you already know and already have to support the success of this project, right? So this might mean, some skills is, I bring people together. Not that I can type. I bring people together. I don't easily get offended. Y'all can make fun of me for my spelling and I won't get easily offended. That's not an easy spell. Okay. And maybe some of my resources are, my house is where we're going to have a house for the picnic. And what would some other resources be? I don't know. Let's see. We have company swag. And I think I'm going to use that to help unify the team. Okay, so we're going to create an exhaustive list of this. It'd be great, I don't know, 15 or so things in each column or each, skills versus resources. And the reason that we want to do that here, while we're in a creative, calm, grounded mindset, we're free of distractions, we're free of stress as we create this project, is because when we get to a point in this project where we're not doing so great, or there's a breakdown or something, we can come back to this list and say, okay, it's not going well. I'm getting ready to miss a milestone, or the team is in shambles. Let me go back to my skills and resources list and look at what I already have kind of, in inventory that I might be able to tap into, right? Because when emotions are high, intelligence is low. So right now, while emotions are low and intelligence is high, we can create ourselves a bit of an audited list of what do we have in inventory. So that's the benefit of the skills and resources section. Then we come over here to our big rocks, right? So this is putting 4 flags in the ground, right? We're going to put a flag out in Q4, out in Q3, Q2, and Q1. Right now, if this is October right now, then we're talking about technically Q1 being October, November, and December, right? So that's Q4 to be technical. However, you need to do this to make it make sense to you. These are the first 3 months, the second 3 months, the third 3 months, and the fourth 3 months. So you can figure that out. And then every quarter has 3 months in it, right? So in order to get to the first quarter, we're going to have 2 smaller flags, right? A milestone to month 1 and a milestone to month 2. Then the third month, the third flag ends up being our big quarterly, like the big flag, our big quarterly milestone, or what we will call a big rock, right? So our distinction here between the 4 quarters and the little milestones in between is that the quarter markings will be called big rocks. I don't know if you ever heard that term before, but there is a trainer whose name is not coming to me right now. Could potentially be John Maxwell, who did a training around time management. That if you have a pile of big rocks, a pile of small rocks, a pile of sand, and a jug of water, if you try to fit them all into an aquarium, let's say, they're only, if you start with the water and then move up to the sand and the pebbles and the big rocks don't fit in. And the big rocks are your main priorities. So in order for our big rocks to fit in and be prioritized, we gotta locate them first and put them somewhere safe first. And if we do it backwards and we put the big rocks in the aquarium and then the pebbles and then the sand and then the water, everything fits. It's a fun and old training video that I'm sure has many renditions. It might be fun to go and watch. And correct me if it's John Maxwell. I can't remember who it is. All right, so we're going to look at our goals here and decide what's going to go where. So I'm going to use this to be October through December because we do want to start at the bottom. We want this one to be the one that's the soonest, right? So if we're looking time-wise, this is the one we're building to first. So let's say this is October to December, then this one would be January through March, and then this one would be April, May, June, July, August, September. July through September. And we know our company picnic is July 31st. So this one will be the one the company picnic lives in. Down here, okay, so maybe a holiday party. Maybe we create an incentive program. And up here, maybe we begin doing our performance reviews. We haven't started those yet, so we got to do those. And our one-to-one meetings. Okay. And then maybe up here we do, I don't know, a monthly fun day. monthly fun day. Maybe we do a recognition. And maybe we start training program. Okay. So we've got our 4 big flags in the ground. Our big rocks are figured out here. But we now need to fill in what is our milestone for month 1 and our milestone for month 2. So we're only building to here, right? We can pretty much forget about Q2, 3, and 4 the rest of the year. We're just now lasering in. So we started out with something really big. This big project, company retention. We created an objective and a measure. We made it a little bit more defined. Then we broke it into 4 parts, and now we're making it even more zoomed in and more defined. And now we're saying, okay, let's only focus now on Q1. Now we're zooming even further in and making it more defined. So now we can, this one's pretty easy, right? We could say, all right, well, let's have the holiday party at the back half. So holiday party planning. Well, the holiday party would be in December, right? So then this one might be, let's say we'll do the incentive program in the second month, and maybe we do some surveys to see like what's going on with everyone. Why might people be leaving? Why might people be unhappy? We can collect some data here. Okay, so now we have this. So let's say, for argument's sake, in the next 30 days, I need to get some surveys done. And then 30 days after that, I'm creating an incentive program and implementing that. And then 30 days after that, I'm going to make sure there's a holiday party for everybody to participate in. All right. Now we're going to zoom in even further and work on our action plan. Now, the action plan is technically only to get to the next milestone. So surveys to collect data, what do I need to do? Well, I need to hire a coach to help. Great. I know a coach. We might create survey questions. We might assign a team member to facilitate surveys. Okay. We might also need to do something in service of the incentive program or the holiday party that might take more than 30 days or 60 days, right? So we might need a 10-week order time, like a lead time for something for the holiday party. Maybe we're getting an ice luge or something custom made that needs to be ordered way in advance because we're so special. So we can look ahead just through that quarter and say, you know what else I need to, make a I don't know, order something special for the holiday party. Okay, so you get the idea. Whoa, hopefully that gets bigger. Okay, there we go. All right, so with this simple example, you can see how we're taking something very large, we're breaking it all the way down to what is my task list for the next 30 days. Now, if this were my project I was doing with my team, I would also assign, as you can see here, a what by when with an owner. So I might say, okay, Sherry is doing this by 10:15. This needs to be done. Okay, and creating the survey questions, that's going to be me. I want to own that. I want to have that done by 10:10. Okay, and then when we have our meetings, we will use this to check on, okay, what's working, what's missing, what haven't we gotten to, where are we getting stuck, what's next. Now remember, if we get stuck, we can come back up here to skills and resources and say, hey, you know what? We need more people on this project. I'm really good at bringing people together. I can share a vision and get some buy-in. Why don't I go get one or two more team members to help us with this thing so we're not drowning under tasks, right? So we can come back to our skills and resources list during those meetings when we realize, oh shoot, I'm getting stuck. All right. This is essentially the instructions for the project design tool. A lot of this is easier said than done sometimes. So having an outside facilitator or a neutral party to help keep you out of the weeds might be supportive. But hopefully you can take a look at this tool with your team and use the format to create the plans for your upcoming projects. If you'd like some support from us, we of course are always here. Reach out to anybody at Carbo Coaching. We're glad to help.